just blossomed from there. And yeah, it was just really cool. And we've been friends ever since. So we're like rounding 6 years or something. I think it is completely crazy. But anyways, there's been other businesses and other things that I've seen her do and lots of different people do, but this one is different just because of at first I was like, man, tons of people are making lots of money, you know, and you guys know me, and those of you guys that are really close to me and follow me closely, I don't do things just for money. That whole ship has sailed just due to the fact that, um, you end up being unhappy, right? You have to have a lot more than that, than just the dollars. You can follow dollars for 5 or 10 minutes, but what do you do when it gets hard? And so I got on some products because my body has a lot of inflammation in it. I was not sleeping at all. Like, really, I would wake up in the middle of the night and think for hours. And so I got on a few products now about 2 months ago. I absolutely love the sleep dropper. It helps me sleep amazing. And just watching all of these people not only use the products and change their life that way, but just the way that you can change other people's lives. I've loved that doctors back this company. I'm really big on that. Just not jumping on some sort of like health and wellness bandwagon, which I used Thrive for, I don't know, 8 years. This is my first product that I've switched off of Thrive and not crashed. And usually when I come off of Thrive, I turn into a crazy person and my hormones go all over the place and I cannot stabilize until I get back on that product. And I've been on Q for 2 months and haven't crashed at all. I've not had to go back to Thrive at all. I think my mind sometimes is like, you should get back on that, but my body doesn't need that. So um I wanted to bring Allie here because she's amazing. And I've even just seen a difference in her skin. It was the funniest thing one day. I was like, why does your face look so good? I've known her for a long time and her face never looks good. And I don't mean that in like a mean way, but she's always like broken out. I know that sounds fucked up. Just follow me for a
Love
second.
you.
She's always broken out. She'll tell you it is a true story. Always broken out, always has skin issues. And one day I'm on Marco Polo with her and I'm like, why does your face look so good? Like, what are you doing? It was one of the first things that I noticed. And so we'll let her talk about all that kind of stuff. But yeah, hopefully that was a good intro, Allie. Maybe you'll never have me introduce you
Oh
again.
my gosh, you're funny. I like laughing. Can you hear me or no? We're back to like the not hearing me, right? Okay, okay. So to add to our tech issues for the evening, can you hear me now, Alishia? Like thumbs up, you can hear me? Yeah? Okay. To add to our tech issues, your group is denying me even though I'm an admin to do the live stream. What the hell? So that's why I'm recording it and we can get it in there later because I mean, I have never had a tech issue with Zoom, but that would be us. It would happen with us, you guys. And I actually forgot that that's how we met. I remember you found me on YouTube, but I forgot it was because people were being mean to me. And they totally were. You're so right. So I remember my biggest, like my memory is with when we were in LuLaRoe, she onboarded just a couple weeks before me. And like, we were each other's like pace partners. Like we like ran together. Like I remember meeting her for the first time at like convention and like hugging her and not wanting to let go. Cause like we were just like buddies from completely different teams and it was awesome. And after those days were gone, like we've just stayed in touch. And it's just one of those friendships that has lasted like through the years, even though like we went in different directions. And she's right. My skin looked like shit. It really did. It looks so bad. And I'll tell you what product helped me with that tonight. But these presentations, you guys are probably like, why is this necessary? Trust me, just stick with us because I talk about like where we've come from and where we're going. And I do cover the products. Definitely ask questions in the chat and we can field them at the end. And then I talk about how we make money. But what you guys need to know about me is I have been a leader in multiple direct sales companies and I have done a little adding up recently because I was a trainer in LuLaRoe. I was a senior fashion director in Epiphany and I was a senior director in Color Street. And I have more leaders here than all three companies combined. And that's why I stay. I mean, the products are awesome. I would stay on them forever, but having that many people find success and honestly, like many of them quickly, nothing's a guarantee. I'm not going to be that person that's like promising the world to everybody, but I've never had this many people do well. And I know it's because the systems we have in place, and we'll talk about the company trajectory and where we're going, but you guys, a lot of people care about their health right now more than they have in the past. Like, that's just a fact. That's what 2020 did. If there's a silver lining, people have wanted to take control over their health. And when you're talking about things that are on the natural end of things and some of the things that we have going on here, I think it's going to make a lot of sense to you on why we're growing at the rate that we're growing. So I'm going to share screen. I'm so bummed that we can't share it on Facebook, but we had a rough tech start, and it's fine. It's fine. We can do it next time. This probably won't be the only time her and I jump on one of these together. So let's do, and hope, just watch, this screen probably won't share. I don't want to jinx us here, you guys, but all right. See, there was that denial, Alishia. I don't know. All right. And I kind of already introed myself, but these are my kiddos, and it's totally why I'm doing this. So what I did after I had kind of gotten out of direct sales for a little while, I got into my own boutique, and it's not that I don't love it. And it's not that I don't love my customers. I've had them since LuLaRoe. I've just kind of transitioned all these people through the years with all of the different things I've been involved with. But that never ending hamster wheel of constantly trying to find new products and the next best thing and the ordering in and the shipping, I didn't really get a break. And Alishia saw how hard I was working, and I really wasn't spending the time with my family that I wanted to spend with my family. And this fell in my lap while we were in the middle of a road trip. We took a road trip this past winter. I needed to escape Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania winters are depressing, but Pennsylvania winters during lockdowns are worse. And so we went on the road in a camper, and I was trying to do this virtual boutique of mine from the road. And I was miserable because I was trying to work really, really hard from the road and not having as much fun as I could have been having. And this kind of fell in my lap. And I'm like, you know what? If I take this and run with it, I might get some of that time back. And that is exactly what happened. So let's dive into like, who the heck are we? You already have an idea that they're products that make us feel really good, but I want you guys to know where we came from and how we got started. So Mark on the left, and I've had the pleasure of meeting him. He's like a gentle giant. He's legit like 6'7", and I'm super short. So I felt incredibly like short, and just, he was towering over me, but he's the sweetest guy. He's a former NFL football player from the Raiders, and he took them to the Super Bowl twice. And what that means in business is that he's capable of leading teams on the field, transitions to business better than you could possibly imagine. And then after his football career, he became a real estate developer, had a really successful career with that. And I think that you are getting the picture that he's not a guy that can sit. And so in retirement, he got bored really fast and he wanted to do some good. He said, I had some really, successful moments in my life and I want to help others. And he did some brainstorming and he ended up meeting our chief scientist, and they got to work in 2012. So you're like, wow, it's like 2021. They got to work in 2012. Why have we not heard of Q Sciences? Well, they were mostly in white coat settings for a long time. That's kind of how they started out. It was still in like the direct seller market, but they weren't growing in the world of ambassadors because they didn't have a very good comp plan. And they had a really high customer retention rate though. These products do what they say they're going to do. Our customer retention rate's almost 90%. You don't get that if the products don't do what they claim. So they knew it wasn't the products. They knew it was something else. And so Mark is a smart guy. He knew he needed some help figuring out what they needed to change. So he hired Jake. And Jake is a multimillionaire network marketer. He's that guy that figured it out and made his millions in his early 20s and retired his family in his 30s. And then he became a consultant and investor. Well, he met Mark and fell in love with what we had here. And he's like, yeah, there's a lot that needs change, but I want in on this. And he became a partner. He bought into the company and became our president and co-owner. And so he made a ton of changes, and mostly in regards to the comp plan and a few other things. And since he did that, 700% growth, like a rocket ship. So since 2018, it just like took off. And then 2020 hits and you have all of the people caring about their health. And what happened is it just quadrupled. So instead of going down in 2020, like a lot of other companies did, except for, your Amazon, Walmart, and Targets, we quadrupled. And then in 2021, we doubled 2020's numbers. And what I like to talk about on this slide is I personally have lived through both ends of the spectrum here. if a company reaches saturation, that means they've done something great. They're a household name. But it is sometimes difficult to come in at that point in the game and make like that legacy wealth. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's harder. A lot of people already know somebody that's involved. And then I lived through ground floor with Epiphany. Alishia was with me in that for a little bit before she ended up stepping away from the boutique world for a little while. And that was a situation where the company never got off of ground floor. And what I've learned is that's actually pretty common. They hit bumps in the road, things go wrong, and they never make it. It's actually really sad. And I experienced that. And we had to do some major pivots because we weren't planning on getting out of the industry at the time, but we had really no choice because things just were going south really, really fast. So for us, we're here. We're right past the rocky stage. We're past all those changes and the bumps in the road and all the things that could go wrong, heading right into this fast growth and way before saturation. So what you need to know is we're already in 20 countries. Actually, I think it's 22. The goal is 60 to 65 in the next 4 years. And we have some really cool things coming in the near future in September that are going to be game changing for the industry. So I can tell you about one. We are getting medical grade collagen, liquid collagen. It's better than powder. And from what I understand, we are the first company that's going to have medical grade. So outside of doctors' offices, right? We are going to actually be the first one to have medical grade liquid collagen. And I believe it's like a 4-in-1 situation because apparently there's different types of collagen. So that's going to be really huge. But a lot of people have signed non-disclosure agreements about another product that is coming. And what I know is that we are the first company to do this ever, not in direct sales, the first company to ever make what this is. So keep your eye out because that's coming in the near future. And they have plans to continue to be innovative. They're not trying to be a niche market company. They're trying to constantly push the edge of the envelope and always be giving people what they need from the world of health. Okay. So let's chat about like why we're different. She said that Alishia said she went from Thrive to us and she loved Thrive for years. And she came over here and is trying our products and she's feeling so great and she's not crashing. The reason why is because of how they're formulated. And I'll get to that in a little bit, but you guys need to know about the person behind the products because this is why we actually have people in the medical world jumping in here. She wasn't kidding when she said doctors backing it, but we actually have doctors and nurses and chiropractors and tons of people in the medical world becoming business partners in this company. And that is not normal. You don't typically hear that in other companies. Doctors don't usually put their name on like a direct sales company, but it's happening here. And it's because of him. So Dr. Stephen Kimberly is a licensed medical doctor. He studied and practiced internal medicine. Then he became a naturopath. So he has like that science and nature going on for him. And then he became the editor-in-chief of WebMD. And I am not about like self-diagnosing on Google. I don't do the whole Dr. Google thing, but I think we've all found ourselves on WebMD at one point or another. And what he realized as their editor-in-chief is he was able to see like the common trends, like what did people need? He got to see it from the back end. And so he realized some of the ways that he could help with formulating different things based on frequent searches with WebMD. So he has credentials for days. I think everybody will agree with that, but he's also super picky. So one thing I like to point out, you can take a screenshot of this. I promise I'm not going to bore you and go over every single little bubble here, but soy is the #1 ingredient in a lot of health and wellness products. It is so bad for us. I learned this about 1.5 years ago because I had a terrible reaction to a health-based product when I was trying to lose the baby weight from baby number 3. And I found out that it was very likely because of soy. It was the #1 ingredient. And so I started paying attention. And as I was paying attention to you guys, I'm like, it's literally in so much, especially in the fitness and weight loss world. And it's on our no-no list, along with a lot of other things. So I just think it's cool that we get to say we're GMO-free and we're gluten-free and we're soy-free. And people with allergies are probably going to be good to go here. But they are really particular down to everything, including the packaging. With our hemp, they want to control that. So we grow our own and we grow it in Colorado and it's sustainably grown. They are very picky, and they're picky because this is Dr. Kimberly's standards and we never deviate from it. So quality first, always. And they never want to skimp on ingredients, which unfortunately, like that's soy, it's a cheap ingredient. And that's why companies go with it. And we skip all of that here. So full suite of products. Alicia is taking, I think, our core product. Am I right? Do you want to just like nod your head? Is it the core?
Yeah, I take core, but this time I also added in trim.
Okay.
So I'm on your trim as well. And I have a pretty good like testimony for that. So
We're gonna need to hear that. Do you want to say that now?
yeah, that's fine. So listen, any product that I have ever, and I mean ever taken, because I have a princess stomach and I have since the day I was born, if it has any sort of caffeine in it, it makes me sick. So when I first went to get on the products and I saw that anything had caffeine, it made me nervous. I'm like, I'm gonna get jittery. I'm gonna be sick to my stomach. I'm not gonna be able to perform through the day. I know how my body is. And Allie was just like, it's gonna be okay. Just get on, try it, whatever. And so I added Trem, and like literally, I didn't take it today. I don't know why I was napping at 5 p.m. today. And then right before this live, I was like, oh my God, I didn't take my trim today, but it gives me energy. It helps keep me going. I've been waiting tables at a cafe. I know it's not for me, it's for the owner. Dude, you should not be waiting tables at 37. I'm just saying. So it's a law. So it like keeps me going. It gives me energy. I've noticed like the foundation of my personality. Like I'm more back to the old power coach Alishia, more bubbly. It's been amazing. And half the time I only take one dose a day. I usually miss the second dose because I don't know where the bottle is. So that's just on one freaking dose a day. And yeah, so I'm really, really excited about it. That, and I don't know, I haven't been on it that long, so I don't want to say that I'm starting to lose inches, but I feel like I am.
Ah.
Yeah, I think I've only been on it for 3 weeks. So I think, oh, yeah, you're losing weight, but I think I might be because I look different. So
Yeah,
there's
no,
my
I actually see
testimonial.
it. I see it in your face. That's usually where you see it first, at least on me. So I think it's time to check. You never know. You might be. So that was what she talked about is this product right here. And she's also on the core. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in depth on the next slide. This is not everything that we carry. We are full spectrum wellness. So nothing against companies that have the niche marketing, nothing against the ones that focus in on like fitness and weight loss. If that's your jam, that's fine. But it isn't my goal. I have like if I'm going to do this, I want to help the masses mentality. When it comes to fitness and weight loss, there's people who should lose weight. And then there's an even smaller group of people who actually want to try to lose weight. So it really narrows who you can work with, right? Versus here, we can work with people if they're on a fitness and weight loss journey, but I can also work with somebody who is dealing with pain management, chronic illnesses, nutrient deficient, kids, pets. We have somebody who is a severe diabetic. I will tell you his testimony about our Fuse line when I get to that part of the presentation. But it's just cool. Like I have met people of all walks of life with all different medical concerns that our products have impacted. So one thing that I started was this community group where we are able to tell our testimonials. I realized there was a need for that because I've talked to so many people and I'm hearing all these incredible testimonials and I'm like, wow, that's powerful. We need to start something like that everybody in this business can utilize. And it was a labor of love, but we are about to cross 7,000 members and it's growing daily. And it's just so cool to see these testimonials come in left and right across the board with all different products. So I'll tell you about some of my favorites while we're chatting. But what I want you to understand is it's a something for everybody business. Okay. So you would basically tell us like, what are you trying to work on? And then we help come up with a plan for you. Number one. Okay. And number two, there's no kits here. I can't stand kits. I'm so over the kits. You're not going to use half of what's in it half the time anyways. I love that like when somebody's like, I totally get it. I totally get why this is a really great opportunity. And then we just help you pick what's going to be right for you. And that's it. It's simple as that. So full and broad spectrum hemp, nutraceuticals, fitness and weight loss. The vitamin sprays are super awesome. Kids products, the pet line that we have, and then hormones, energy, immune support. Like we have all of it. And this is just a little tiny fraction of our product lineup. There is more than this. So one thing that all of the products have in common, they are all high absorbability. And that was what I learned. Not all supplements are created equal. I knew that before coming into this company. I knew that the vitamins that were on the shelf at, Walmart and Target in their pharmacy department, I knew my body didn't absorb them. I knew that there was something about methylated and chelated vitamins and minerals that were really important. And so I already knew that they weren't all created equal, but these are formulated in a way where I actually feel better taking our supplements. I have taken vitamins my whole life, and I have always struggled to remember to take them because I never felt better. I just knew I should take them. These are absorbed so heavily by your body and used on a cellular level that we hear across the board people noticing a difference in just their overall wellness, their mental clarity, their brain fog, their energy, all kinds of things. And their body reminds them when they have forgotten to take their daily dose. So this is a non-negotiable for me. And it's because my family has noticed a difference in me, and it's not just my skin. That was a plus. The hormone balancer that we have is what has caused the improvement in my skin, because my skin, it was all in these areas here, which for us ladies is always hormone based, and it affected me after I had kids. And so we have a hormone balancer that I add to the lineup that you see here. And that is what has helped my skin, but that's also helped my cycle. Hopefully that's not too much information, but I always knew when it was about that time, because I would get a searing migraine that would leave me in bed for a day, and it was awful. And it happened every single month. And I'm always surprised every month now, because I don't have that heads up warning with the headache anymore. I have to pay attention now. I have to look at the calendar, but I don't have that migraine coming anymore from like that hormone disruption in my system, which is just so awesome. But everything is processed in a way for high and fast absorption, because Dr. Kimberly says if you can't absorb it and your body can't utilize it, it's not worth taking it. So that's what I want you to understand across the board. But I heard in a presentation recently when our president was speaking, and it really stood out to me. He was talking to somebody and they were like, I could just go into GNC and buy a high quality supplement. And he's like, yeah, you could, but this is a tax deduction. And I was like, wow, why didn't I even think about that? It's true. Like, these are things that we should be taking anyway. It's not a question of if we should be taking care of our body, right? I think we can at least agree with that. So if we should be using things like this anyway for our overall wellness, if you go the business route, then it's a tax deduction. And I'm like, good point. There's lots of things that you can write off when you go that direction. So you have amazing products and you get to write it off. I think that's fun. So the hemp line, Alishia, did you get anything from this yet? I don't think that you did.
I have the rest.
Oh, you do have the rest. Never mind. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's what I put under my tongue. Can I talk about that?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yay. You can talk about everything else, but I have to talk about this. So I was telling you just a little while ago that I would wake up in the middle of the night and then just like think for 3 or 4 hours. And this has been ongoing for, I don't even know how long. Well, I got the rest and then the sleep spray, and I was using both of them, but just for the last week, I've only been using the rest under my tongue. But one thing I can tell you across the board is when I use that, I do not wake up. So I just do the 2 drops instead of the 1 underneath my tongue, or 2, whatever, tinctures full or whatever the hell they're called. And when my body still goes to wake up every night. So that hasn't changed, but like, I don't even know how to explain it, but like, I can't like actually wake up and start thinking. I stay asleep. I mean, I could open my eyes, but it takes a lot more like effort. I have to wake up a whole bunch in order to do that. So I never wake up. I don't know. There's like different levels of sleep, right? It puts you in that level of sleep where your eyes don't just pop open. You have to like process to get your eyes to open, which is something I love. I can still hear everything. I'm not sleeping so deep that, I don't hear things, but I don't just wake up and think anymore. No more. And
Yeah.
I love
And
that.
you're not groggy in the morning either, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no.
So the rest has completely changed my life. I feel like it's changed a lot of lives, but I don't even know if Alishia knows this about me. She probably does, because like I was always a zombie. We used to talk on an app called, and we still do sometimes, Marco Polo. So like the face-to-face app, that's how she noticed my skin. And I always looked tired. I always had like the dark circles under my eyes. And it's because I have a chronic condition that prevents me from getting in and staying in REM sleep. So no matter how much sleep I got in the sense of like when I went to bed and when I was getting out of bed, it didn't matter. I wasn't getting that deep, restful sleep. And it's because of this condition I have. It always prevents me from getting in it or staying in it. It's awful. It's called interstitial cystitis, and I've had it since I was 14 years old. And aside from having prescription sleep aids, like nothing worked for me. And you can't be hooked on prescription sleep aids forever. It's honestly, it's not safe. I literally would sleepwalk and do laundry. And I even went for a walk one time. Like it's not good. So I got off of those sleep aids years ago, and I've just been suffering through it for literally years, like a decade. And I tried this thinking, okay, if they keep saying that these products are made differently, if they keep saying they have this high absorbability, maybe this will work. And it did. And I couldn't believe it. The first night I took it, I didn't open up my eyes until the sun was up the next day. And I literally do not have a single memory in my adult life where that was the case ever.
And you wake up you wake up early. That's the other weirdest thing. When Allie first told me that, I was like, whatever, she's lying, because I like to sleep in. I wake up every day before our alarm. Our alarm goes off at 8, which for a lot of people, that's late. For me, that's early. I wake up at 7:30 every single day, way before the alarm.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I do too. My alarm goes off at 9 because I'm a night owl and I work late at night, but I'm almost always having my eyes open between 7:45 and 8. And I'm like ready to go. And I hate when the alarm goes off. I like waking up on my own. It's really nice. I never thought it was ever going to happen to me. So we have a massive hemp line. It's all high absorbability. And the reason why, it's water soluble. So most CBD is an oil based, actually all CBD except for ours is oil based. They actually basically encapsulated the CBD molecule with a water molecule. That's the BioSync technology. It made it water soluble. And because we are 75% water, our body sucked it up versus an oil and water don't mix. It went in one end and out the other. So that's why the other brands I've tried, not that they weren't expensive, they sure were. I never felt anything. And with this, I do. It's super cool. So the products speak for themselves. There's a 30-day money back guarantee. If you're like, y'all, this didn't work for me, I hate it, you can use the whole thing and they will give you your money back. I don't know any other company that does that. Some will let you send it back if you haven't opened it. We actually will take it back if you've opened it and used a lot of it. So that's awesome. They really believe in their stuff. But almost a 90% customer retention. So that's why people are like, I want to learn how I could maybe make some money here. And I'm going to go through the things that stand out to me from somebody who has been in direct sales before. And then if you want to do a deeper dive, I'll be happy to chat with you one-on-one. But on this screen, what I like to point out, just because it's bold, this is guaranteed monthly pay. I've never had that before. It's always like some wacky percentage mathematical equation that nobody can ever figure out. And so you're waiting for payday to see how much your check is going to be and hoping it was enough to pay the bills. And that's not what we have going on here. So people love knowing exactly what they're going to be bringing in. And they also love our bonuses because they get big really, really fast. But here is why a lot of people decide to go the ambassador route, even if they're not sure if they want to try to sell the products or if they want to try to build a team. Every single ambassador gets a free financial advisor. This speaks to the heart of the company. This is Sarah Spencer. That's Jake's wife. She heads up this program. So instead of the flashy production and the lights and the concerts and all the glitz and the glam that a lot of companies do when they have events, they tone theirs down. They don't do the cars and all of those things that, other companies do because they want to better people. And they know financial health is a thing. They know that it's not just about your like physical health, but if your financial health is in check, you're going to have less stress, less anxiety. You're going to sleep better. Your family life is going to be better. A lot's going to be better. So everybody gets a free financial advisor. Who wants one? You're not required, but the moment you sign up, you can email ffm@qsciences.com and request your appointment for your free financial coaching session. And it is free for everybody. And they meet you where you're at. You air out all your dirty laundry and they put together a plan for you. And it's whatever you need. If you need help with figuring out retirement, paying off debt, improving your credit score. I know somebody who has made full-time income in this business as a leader, and she only talks about this because this is enough. A financial advising session is $200 to $300 an hour. And we invest in our health here. And in return, we get this. I think that that is pretty darn cool, because a lot of companies, when they do fun things, it's usually only for the leaders, and they do it for everybody. So comp plan time. It's a 1-pager. Other comp plans are like 28 pages and you need a magnifying glass to look at it. That's not the case here. So in addition to the financial advisor that you get for free, you will start to get bonuses that go towards the debt of your choice as you move up through ranks. So that's what column number 4 is. I currently have $300 a month going towards my car payment. It's the coolest thing. My car is going to get paid off faster, but you can choose whatever you want. And if you're a magical unicorn and you have no debt, they'll send it to retirement or some type of savings plan for you. But they send it directly there. You fill out a form with the account number and everything, and they send it direct. So if you're all about the selling, you can sell here. That's definitely not what makes us different in the world of growth, but you can make 15 to 35% commission. And right now they have a thing that you can make actually 50% commission. It's a special little incentive that they're running, and you never have to ship anything or deal with customer service. As a former top seller, I only have like 5 customers though, because when they hear that it's a process that a lot of people can figure out, because we take you through like coaching sessions to help you with your business. And when they find out they get that free financial coach, and that they find out they don't have to hit sales minimums to stay in the company, they're like, you know what? I want to be an ambassador. That sounds awesome. So my business mostly is ambassadors. I'm just going to be frank with you. I mean, I'm a seller. I've sold my whole life, but that's what I'm finding here. You can sell if you want, but I'm finding more business partners here because they naturally gravitate towards that. So the reason why people are like, you know how I told you in the beginning, I have more leaders here than any other business I've ever had combined. Like if we combined all 3 of those other businesses, the reason why is in order for you to unlock the comp plan and start moving up through rank, you only need 2 people. So we just talked about a lot of really amazing products that are changing people's lives. And you may have thought like, wow, like I know somebody who could really use that fuse for their pain management or their sleep, or I know somebody who has rheumatoid arthritis and they need to hear this because we have products that can help them. Like you start to think about that kind of stuff. And so what I've experienced is people are like, I can't think of like 20 people, but I can think of 2 people. Let's give this a go. Let's see what I can do here. And it's just 2 people. So 2 people unlocks the comp plan. We get paid on endless levels. So it keeps the leaders working with the newest person always. Other companies cut us off. Past companies, like I was paid a certain amount through like my 3rd generation, and then it would get less. And then I was paid a little bit, and then it would cut off completely at like generation 5 or 7. It's pretty common. Like there's that cutoff, right? So it doesn't matter what type of production your team has past that point. You don't get credit for it. It doesn't count for your rank. Here, it all counts. So if I end up staying here for 5 or more years and I end up having 1,000 levels, that all counts. And so because of that, this overall volume is really obtainable because it's a collective effort. I hit the rank of bronze my first month, and it wasn't because I had 10,000 in volume. It was because as a group effort, that's what we had. And it's all about helping everybody get those 2 people to unlock that comp plan. And then when they get those 2 people, we help them get their 2 people. And then we plug in with those new people and we help them get their 2 people. And it's this snowball effect. And I didn't believe it. I thought my sponsor was crazy. And then it happened, and it happened quickly. And it doesn't happen that fast for everybody. I'm not promising that you're going to be the rank of bronze in a month, but I have a ton of people who've never done this before who fly through the first 2, 3, 4 ranks in their first 1 to 2 months because the system works. It really, really does. And the products do what they say they're going to do, which is always helpful. So here's that guarantee pay. So you know what you're going to get paid. And then here's the guaranteed promotional rank bonuses. So just to break down my first month, my experience, I hit bronze. That meant $1,700 for my family. But these bonuses here on this side in column 3, they're stackable. So I literally earned 100 plus 100 plus 300. Right away, it was paid to me like that week. It was instant. And then I qualified for the 1,500 and the 2,500. And what I mean by qualified is they want you to hold it for 2 months. So I qualified, I held it for 2 months, and then I started seeing these bonuses get paid out. And I've been fully paid out on these now. And I'm about to start collecting from this one. So they get big fast. And because they get big fast, they're just like, we want you to maintain it because that means your business is stable. And they're right. They don't want somebody pushing really, really hard to hit a rank. And then the next month they lose the rank. It's not fun. I've been there. So they want you to like continue to work with the new people and continue moving your business forward. And so you maintain your rank. And that's exactly what ends up happening. And the next thing you know, you're halfway to the next rank, and it kind of happens all over again. So this is what makes us different. The 2 people, the endless levels, the guaranteed pay. A lot of things are different here. And I just want to leave you with, we have systems in place. I told you about that really incredible testimonial group. We teach you how to utilize that for business purposes. And it's working for so many people, because I think you can agree, when you hear it from more than one person, it helps, right? It's like that third party validation, except in that group, they're not just hearing their rest testimonial, for example, from Alishia, they're hearing it from like a dozen other people all in one place. So it's literally like our own VIP group for everybody to use. And it's really awesome in the world of health and wellness to be able to have all those testimonials in one place. I do presentations like this all the time that give the big picture, but the systems are there and they make sense for people. And it's really interesting to see how it's ended up working out for people who've never had success before or who have never done it before. I'm working with a teacher right now. She's never done this before, and she's about to hit her 5th promotion, and she's literally on top of the world, because I think we can all agree that teachers are underpaid. And she's so excited that she's actually she's like, I'm getting paid what I'm worth now. Like, she's like, I'm putting in the effort and I'm like reaping the benefits for it, versus if I put in extra hours, which I do for my students, I don't get paid anything extra. So she's having the best time. So that's what I got, friends. Does anybody have any questions? I know that was a ton of information, like so much. I'm glad Alishia got to tell you her testimonial, because I know you wanted to hear it from her.
I do want to say that I do not like network marketing. I am a party plan person, 100%. You, Allie can vouch our messages back and forth. I do not like hierarchy commission structures. I do not like buy into this, $500 a month worth of products being shipped to you, and that's the way you make money. I don't like any of it. And so I have probably been the most difficult for her, because I've given a ton of pushback. I've seen systems like this used before, but nothing the way they bring it all together. So I just wanted to add to this that I would not be here if I didn't think that it was amazing. We didn't talk about one thing, and it's how much it is to be an ambassador.
Oh, that's
and I love it, because you're thinking, okay, they just buttered me all the way up. Now they want $1,000 from me, right? And I have to be on some auto ship program in order to succeed. That's how you think, right? She just forgot. She wasn't trying to like leave you hanging. The craziest thing about all of this is it's a $40 investment. So that's the mind blower, that like, really? And you get to decide. I just did the $40 and then got on the products, because I was like, I don't want to have to switch later. And then when we came into this launch process, I would be like, I have 5 minutes. I have 7 minutes. I have 10 minutes. Like, I'm busy. And she's like, I mean, for the most part, we've done it all pretty quick once I committed. But I'm just saying, it's not like what you normally do. It's way different. It is completely different. I had to put that out there.
Yes, no, I'm glad that, and you're right. She was insanely difficult, you guys. But you know what? I was like, interesting. I've never thought about that. Interesting. I never thought about that. So like, it was a learning experience for me too. And she would give me pushback because we're friends. She's like, I don't like that. But here's the thing, we made it work for her. Like, there is systems, but it's systems that you end up plugging yourself into in a way that you are comfortable. There's lots of different routes that you can take, but the system really is like connecting people to the information and doing it in a way where like they get to talk to another person, because you're not expected to be an expert right out the gate. Like, I know so much about the products now. I didn't even cover half of it with you guys. But she's right. It's $39.95 to sign up. And then you pick your own products. And let's say you're having a really rough month and you're like, I have a team, like I have a couple people under me. I want to get paid, but I cannot afford my products this month. you can get a customer sale and replace your required 100 PV with a customer order, and you can still collect your commissions. So there is like this safeguard. Of course, I want to like just help you make enough where your products are always covered with your check. But I love that that is an option. And I say to people, I'm like, okay, if this month is too tight and you just can't afford your products, which by the way, they're always sad because they're like, I need my rest. I must have my rest. But if it's a bad month, we're like, okay, let's help you get a customer sale and I'll help you do it. And that's literally what I do all day, every day now. And I didn't really realize how much I missed people until I got into this business and I started talking to people again. And it's been good. I love it.
So the other thing that I want to add here, and the other reason why I'm here, is the monthly residual. For me, I love the idea of being able to build something. I always love that about building a team in the party plan industry, but to maintain a team in party plan is extremely hard. And Allie's main example of rank, like losing that rank and dropping, was LuLaRoe. I can't tell you how many Marco Polo nights she was so stressed because she was losing her rank. Like, so that residual, yeah, I love that. So you put in that effort and it is a team effort. So I'm really, really excited to be a part of something where it's not all on me. And that's the same thing. It's not all on you. Like, we'll build legs together. So I love that. And legs means just a leg of people who are ambassadors. So in this instance, you can add people in instead of it's only who you recruit. It's only who you can put there. It's not like that. They can be moved around, which makes it to be where if my one leg's good enough for me or for whoever, we'll just put somebody else under you and that helps stack your check. I know that's a little bit
Only build
technical, but
2 legs to start. So imagine you bring in your 2 people, right? And you've unlocked the comp plan. The best way to describe it is the next people you bring in, you automatically put them under those people. And then the next people you bring in, you automatically put them under those people. So you literally only build 2 legs for the first 5 ranks. And then for the 6th rank, you start to build a 3rd and never more than that. So 3 legs instead of like in LuLaRoe, you had to have 10 across just to be a trainer.
10 legs that you have to build, and you could not place people.
No, you couldn't. So you had to have 10. That was a situation of building wide. I'm talking to somebody who's thinking about coming here from Amway right now. I'm like, Amway's still a thing? Wow. Yeah. I didn't know that. My dad was in Amway when I was in 1st grade, but they have to build 20 wide.
That's crazy.
20. It's insane.
That's why I hate network marketing. Like, it's too much work.
Yes. But the 2 people, like literally you could hit the top rank and have only ever brought in 2 people that have stayed. Like literally, it's so crazy. So yeah, it's super different. There's a ton of people coming here. I'm just going to be straight with you guys. Like, we have people coming here from so many different companies because they see where we're at on the track and they know what's about to happen. But they also are like, there's no denying that comp plan is the best in the industry. And I literally think that it is because I've seen like so many. So it's really, really good. They're very, very good to us.
And to be transparent, I hadn't seen the comp plan till today.
Good Lord.
I didn't care because I knew that what you were saying, like, I just knew, I know the industry so well. I knew what you were saying. So I was like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. There's some trust there, friends.
Yeah. Allie screwed me over. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, guys, I'm glad you were able to hop on. I'm so sad we weren't able to live stream. While I was in my presentation, I realized that there's a new thing you have to turn on in Facebook. It's like this app that you have to enable for Zoom. So that's probably what we missed. Next time.
Any questions, Diana, Melinda, Tammy? Can unmute.
They're like, we're overwhelmed.
No, I'm really interested in the products. I take a lot of supplements myself. I have a lot of autoimmune issues. Mm-hmm. I was really excited to see that there's no soy or wheat in either, in any of your products. I mean, seriously, I've got like all my little bottles right here. I've got just tons of, there's more, but like, I'm really intrigued by the products. The thought of making money with it, is like a bonus for me, but I'm really interested in the science behind it. So, I'd like more information on that.
We can totally get you that. I would recommend joining our community group, what I mentioned with those testimonials, because there's also like PDFs and like product fact sheets and that kind of thing that we can tag you in. But the reason why doctors are signing up is because they look at the products and they're like, these are legit, clean, no crap in it products.
And that's hard to find now. That's really,
Yeah.
really hard to find right now.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Like for a doctor to put their name on something, you know, it has to be good. And that's what gave me the courage to, because Alishia knows that I don't normally put my name on something without having tried it, but I was on that road trip. And so I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I need to take one heck of a leap of faith. And my sponsor, Katie, was like, I literally took these to my son's pediatrician. He has special needs. The pediatrician was like, switch him to this now. This is so good. And so I heard that. And then I heard about our chief scientist credentials. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go for it. And I'll try the products when I get home. And then it was game over when I actually was sleeping. So I was a believer.
Yeah, that's another thing. My son has autism. So the gluten, issue and things like that. And I mean, there's a lot there that, I'd be interested in learning about for him. And it's funny, we're both in Pennsylvania too. So we kind of have a lot in common here.
Oh my gosh, where?
Near Pittsburgh. I'm in Washington.
Oh, you guys doing the other side of the state thing. I have somebody else who just signed up and I was so excited. She was PA. And then I'm like, you're still like 4 hours away. Dang it. I was going to say like, I would meet you for coffee, but never mind.
It's a long drive.
Yeah, just a little bit. That's very cool though. And we have a lot of special needs mamas that are swearing by the kids lineup. Like it's crazy. It's been really, really cool to see. So yeah.
And Allie, wouldn't you say that a lot of people do start with product and then they're like, I can't not become an ambassador and tell everybody about this?
Yeah, we have a really high conversion rate from people going from preferred customer to ambassador, because again, like they do what they say they're going to do. And the next thing they know, they're telling like their friend on how it's impacted their kid, or they're telling somebody how their dog didn't spaz out from the fireworks on the 4th of July because of our hemp for the dog. And like, they're just like, wow, I'm kind of naturally talking about this. Like, let's give it a go. Cause again, there's no like sales minimums or anything like that. So like, you can go at your own pace. It doesn't matter.
The $39.95,
it's an annual fee. So
okay, that's what I was going to ask. How often is that?
Yeah. So the preferred customer, you pay $10. So you can think of that as like a BJ's or Sam's Club membership. Like you pay for the year, and it like the $10 fee unlocks like the discounted pricing. And then the ambassador, it's $39.95 a year, and you have the right to sell it or build a team if you want to. And that community group is there for whenever you're talking to somebody and you're saying like, hey, like this has helped me so much. And I would just say, we have this really awesome community group. I could tag you in some of my favorite testimonials. Would you want to check it out? And they're like, yeah, I'll check it out. And that's kind of just how it's naturally growing.
That's the other thing I love is how easy this has been. A post, interest, let's talk about it. Do you want to try a product? Do you want to join? Do you not want to? Like, it doesn't feel pressury, That's another thing that I really love.
That's why I was in network marketing too, and direct sales, party plan. And I just got so burned out in it that I'll never go back. I'll never do that again. I have a service-based business now. And whenever you mentioned, what you were doing, whenever you said something about the health benefits of it, I think you mentioned something that you were getting.
I did.
Yeah. And that's what sparked my interest, because of the health issues that I have right now and of all of the, the stuff that I'm going through. So
yeah, I would love to chat with you a little bit about like what you are going through, just because I bet you I know somebody who has been positively impacted by some of our products. So I could like put my feelers out there for some testimonials. What's really hard, the only thing is, because we are like natural supplements, that FDA, man, God forbid you make like a medical claim on how it's helped you. So like we have to be so careful in like what we claim. Like I can't say this has cured my interstitial cystitis, even though like in my mind, it kind of has, because I'm finally sleeping at night. But like I have somebody whose rheumatologist has noticed such a drastic improvement in her. They've asked her what she's doing different, because her RA was severe and she's improved so much. And it's because of the Align targeting her inflammation. So if you're dealing with autoimmune, it's inflammation based, and we have something that helps that in that Q core trio that I talked about. So we can kind of do a deeper dive on that stuff for you.
Yeah.
Oh,
cool.
and I would also mention that I have severe whatever. I don't know. I haven't been diagnosed with anything, but I know I'm swollen and have pain. It has taken a good 2.5 months for my body to process with these pills and start to feel better. But that was so bad. It was so bad. So that's the other thing. Don't think that you're going to take it and then all of a sudden, like it's
Right.
gradual. You do feel better, but I noticed my pain took a lot longer to get better, which is fine. That's okay. It's okay that it's not like a fix all in 5 minutes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I
mean,
was okay with that.
the rest you'll notice right away. I think you can agree, but like, obviously, and it depends on like your circumstances. If you're dealing with like high inflammation and pain and that kind of thing, like it takes time to like dial down that inflammation, fill in those nutritional gaps and like all the other things that go on. But what's cool is I'm up to 7 people now coming back telling me their blood work's improved. It's so cool. So like,
That's
and that's
amazing.
happened. The one happened in only 2 weeks time. And it was just like a fluke. Like he happened to have his doctor's appointment and he went, and he had only been on the core for 2 weeks. And the doctor was like, what did you do different? Because you were a train wreck. He literally was like red, green, red, green, red, green, all the way down, mostly red. And then it was like all green. And the doctor's like, did you change your diet? What did you do? And the only thing he did was add the Q core. So I'm like,
yes, no more hot flashes for me.
There you go.
Little things you don't notice until somebody says something and you're like, oh, yes, I am no longer having hot flashes.
I tell people like do a full body scan.
Yeah, you have to like think about what's changed.
Yeah.
You're just so happy that you feel better, that you're not thinking about what has actually changed.
Yeah. I actually had somebody tell me, like, she was so sassy. Allie, I don't know what everybody's talking about. This stuff isn't doing anything for me. I don't feel any different. So she stopped taking it. 3 days later, I got the apology text saying, never mind. I feel like shit. I'm going to start taking my supplements again.
Yes. It's so funny. It's interesting to think about.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll get with Diana. I don't think Tammy had any questions. Okay, cool. So I'll get with you, Allie, on anybody else that I invited who.
Yeah. Yeah. And I recorded so we can send out our cluster of a tech disaster to them.
It was fun though. I think everybody had fun.
Yeah. And maybe we can figure out the Facebook thing and live stream another day, which is fine.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. It was fun to hang out with you.
Thank you.
We'll chat with y'all later.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks.
Night.